Hello, and I'm glad to have you here today. Who is joining me here today? If today is your first time streaming with me, can you say I'm a first timer here? And so we can just recognize you and just pop champagne for you. Yes, and if you are a returnee, you're joining us today for today's session, then we want to say welcome once again. So, we will have this interesting topic today for us to learn to better parenting goals and to make progress in the light of our parenting goals. You see, one thing is important, it is setting parenting goals. Many people do not set parenting goals, but they want to achieve milestone in their parenting journey. That will not happen. And this is why today we're having this session so we can talk about something very important to you and I. And it's an interesting topic, right? Who is joining me here? Say I am here. I can see you wherever I'm streaming from. Let's know if you can hear me and you can hear me wherever you are streaming from. Just say, hey, I can hear you. Hey, I can see you. And then we would have a good evening together. From my hand, I'm streaming from Ogun State in Nigeria. So I don't know where you're streaming in from, wherever you are. Just want to say welcome, hop on board. Today we're talking about something very important, but it's going to be short, it's going to be precise, and it's going to be powerful. Creating a culture of love and respect in the home. You and I know that in this age and time where it looks as though the children we're raising these days lack respect. And we parents then look at them as though those children jumped from heaven to just suddenly lack respect. Something has happened somewhere along the line. They have turned out the way they turned. Because there's who you become before you start raising a child. If you fail to become who you should become, then your child will not going to is not going to turn out better. And so this is why in this age and time it's very important for you and I to be ready and work on ourselves to raise children that will surpass us, to raise children that will get better than us, to raise children that will do better than us. I mean, to just become children that we're proud of. For you to then have this kind of children, you must be ready to do the work. That's the truth. If you are not ready to do the work, this kind of children will not just jump down from heaven. That's why parenting begins with you. Can I hear somebody just type it and say, yes, parenting begins with me? Can you re-echo it after me that parenting begins with me? Yes, it actually begins with you. So if you as the parents lack respect and you don't even show love to the children, then the children will not suddenly develop to have love. They will not suddenly develop to them respect. You see, whatever you want to see in the life of the children, you must be ready to do what? To showcase them You must be ready to showcase whatever you want your child to do or to become. Mirror it to your child. That way, it's easy for them to learn because children learn by what they see, not by what you tell them. Yes, you're welcome. If you're joining me here, can I know who is joining? Where you're joining me? If you can see me and then you can hear me. Yes, I'm clapping for you. Thank you for joining me here today. So, we are talking about this crucial matter, love and respect. You see, we don't have love, you don't want, and your child is not going to just suddenly start loving and start showing respect if you do not show it. So parenting actually is modeling. That's like the best mentorship that you can ever have for your children. So a strong home culture is actually built on love and respect. If you see, culture is what have been defined to us as the total way of life of people at a given particular time. Yes, you need to add at a particular time because over time, over the years, over time, culture also change. Some cultures that we are brought up with over the years, over decades, are gradually dissuading because over time innovation, technology, and all of those things have changed them one way or the other, whether you like it or not. Technology has an impact, both positive and negative impact on our parenting journey. And that's why in this age and time, you can't just fold your hands and say, well, I'm doing what I can do. I'm just praying. I'm wishing that my children will turn out well. No, you have to get ready to work, put system in place, train your children, and then pray. But if you just do all you can do, maybe the only thing you are doing is to pray, the only thing you are doing is to want your teachers or school, the teachers of your children to do the work for you, they aren't going to turn out well. You and I maybe did not turn out well, right? But it's important for us to be able to do the needful in this regard. Now, a strong home culture is built on love and respect. And that kind of structure is for you to raise a well-rounded child that can thereby help to foster family harmony. If you don't give it to them today, you don't give them love today, you don't also give them respect today. When you grow up, waiting for them to turn back and do what and repay you what you have sown into them, then they will have nothing to show to you, right? And this is why parenting is seed time and harvest. What are you seeding, if I may use that grammar? What are you sowing into the life of your child? Because whatever you sow, you surely would reap. So I'll take you through some foundations and some basic things that needs to be in your parenting journey. If at all, you must have the kind of love and respect you want to inculcate into the life of your children so that they grow up to be well-rounded adults that show love to the world and show respect. You see, the world is deficit of love. And what we so-called call love in our age and time is not what love is. And if you are a believer, you will know that the Holy Scripture says God is love. And love is God. Whoever loveth, who does not love does not know God, for God is love. And so, if you want to now understand and say, okay, so who is God? He is love. And the scripture makes us know that God so much loved that he gave. He gave what he had, his one and only son. And as he gave, what was he waiting in return? To bring us back to him in return. So that harvest is waiting for him, but he had first of all sown that seed. First of all, that seed was the seed to give his son, so that many sons and daughters can come to him. And so I ask you as a parent, what are you sowing into the life of your child? So focus of today's webinar is for you to intentionally sow love and respect to the life of your child or children, as the case may be. You don't have love, you don't show respect, it's not going to jump up on them. Now let me take you through some of these things. Number one, foundation of love and respect. You want to put it down. Foundation of love and respect. Very important. Foundation of love, you're not going to jump down from heaven, right? It will not jump down from heaven. You have to be intentional to build that foundation. And if the foundation be destroyed, what shall the righteous do? So if truly you're a righteous person, God will help me raise my child and all of those things. But you see, if the foundation through which you're raising your child is already faulty, you cannot raise I've been speaking on most apologies. So if your foundation, your parenting foundation is faulty, what shall you do? And what you will do is to break whatever you have set on it down and then gradually begin to build. It's going to be painful. It's going to cost you time. Some resources will be wasted, but you know that the long run you will achieve your goal. But if you are just starting, then start well. You are maybe a new mom or you have toddlers. You're going to rejoice because the work is going to be very easy for you. It's not time for you to say, the children are still young. They don't understand what I'll be doing. Let me just leave them. No, you are missing it. This time and now that they are very young is when you should do what? You should start putting those structures in place because it will help them greatly to turn out well eventually. So what are we saying here? Build the foundation of love and respect. And so in your mind, I know what you're asking is how? You first of all need to understand that love and respect are pillars of a thriving family. Any family that thrives is because that family is founded on love. Even the family of God is founded on love. He showed his love to us, he then gave. And if you do not respect that his sacrifice, you will waste it. So he respected us and he showed us how to by making his son to die. Now, that is an aspect so you can understand. Love and respect are the pillars of a thriving family. Now that we know that, then you must begin to shape your child in that order. Show them love. You need to understand the love languages of your child or children. Is your child loving physical touch? Is your child loving acts of service? Is your child loving quality time? Is your child loving words of affirmation? Or your child loves gifts? You need to identify what is paramount to your child when it comes to love and speak the love language of your child. Excuse me. Do not aim at speaking the love language of you, of your husband or of your wife to your child. No. Identify the love language of your child and speak it. That way, the love tank of your child is filled. This is a way to model it. On their birthdays, do it. They are having a special time, PTA meetings, show up. Don't say I'm busy, I'm going to work, I don't have time, and this one, that one. No, you must find time to do it. Because when you miss this time of their life, you can't get it again. And the message you're passing across to the children is that I really do not have time. Other things are more important than you. And the children grow up with that mindset and the love tank is empty. So identify the love languages or language of your child and speak it. Speak it intentionally. Speak it intentionally, convenient or not. All right. Now, you also need to know that a loving home provides emotional security. A place where the children know that whatever they say is secure. Mommy and daddy will not use it against them. Whatever they say is fine. They are free to hear their opinions. Because if they are not emotionally secured, they will find it hard to relate with you. So whatever is bothering their mind that they would have told you, they would find it easy to speak it to an outsider, right? This is why you must make the home atmosphere a conducive one for them to be able to speak out their mind to you at all points in time. But one of the things you need to know is that respect ensures that every family member feels valued and heard. So you don't say, shut up your mouth. What do you know about what you are saying? What do we know about what you are saying? And then you're saying, and this one, that one, you are but a child. So don't just talk to what we are saying. You are still a child. You don't understand. Allow the child to hear their opinion. They might not be correct, but you have given them the opportunity to feel heard. I mean, that is respect. And see, one of the things you can do in your family is to develop what we call a routine family meeting. If your family meeting can be a monthly one, and if that works for you, you can do it once a week if that works for you. We do once a month family meeting. In that meeting, everybody is free to hear their opinion and to speak up their mind. And that meeting is themed towards a particular issue, excuse me, that we focus on and dissect. Such issues are given solutions to. Now, the next thing you also want to think of is the foundation of building love in the home. You have to intentionally build love in your home. Speak the love languages of all of your children. Show it to your spouse. If your spouse's love language is any one of those I've mentioned, and I like to drop it here, quality time, words of affirmation, acts of service, physical touch, and gifts. Some are multilingual. In fact, everybody loves to receive love in all of these ways. Only that maybe one or two of them is more germane for us. So those ones that seem germane for you or for your so those ones that seem germane for you or for your child, you make sure that you do what? You speak them to your child. Please confirm that you can still hear me and you can see me. Confirm you can hear me and that you can see me. So you make sure that you identify their love languages and speak them. First of all, how do you do this? If the love language of your child is quality time, meaning that your child does not really want you to sit down and do anything with them while you're with them per se. They just want to be around, adding values to them. They just want you to be around, speaking to them. They just want you to be around, just gazing at your face. They just want you to. They just want to see you around. I mean, quality time for them could involve you telling them stories and doing family activities together, house chores, cooking meals together. We have developed a system of reading bedtime stories with the children every day. That's where we are able to bond with them, we're able to speak with them, we're able to speak art to art, tailor the stories around our family values, and also use it to buttress some values we have been trying to inculcate into them. Right. Thank you. You can see me, you can hear me. Thank you very much, Damilala. Now, you want to not just identify the love language, but you want to take steps to do what? Express it. I mean, one of the mistakes our parents made raising us was they never really showed love to us. What they did was to assume that we would know that they truly love us by paying our school fees, making sure that we eat when we need to, giving us basic needs that we need, shelter, clothing, and all of those things. But they do not verbalize it. They never had dates with us. If they knew better, maybe they would have done better. But the best they knew, they have been able to deploy. And what we're saying in this age and time is if you really do not show love to your child and you are just hoping or wishing that your child should know that you love them, you will lose them to the world. So expression of your love, you can express your love to them through words. Baby girl, I love you. And the baby say, yes, I love you too. I mean, the very first time I started saying I love you to my children, it was really very heavy in my mouth to say because I wasn't raised up that way. Right? And the very first time I took the step to start hugging my children, it felt so really, really awkward. But today it's effortless and it's still a journey. And this is because we have begun to see that intentionality is one of the things needed to make us thrive on this journey. So you want to also show kind of acts of kindness to them, extend the act of kindness to them when they do some things that maybe is really not fine enough. Don't use everything to shout or yell to make them feel like they are nobody. Whereas they are learning even as they are doing all of those things. So express love to them. You need to even acknowledge that they are taking steps to do some things in that order. Those things that they are doing that looks as though they are not getting it. You have asked the child to sweep, you have asked the child to wash the dishes, and at the end of the day, it looks like they've done rubbish. Really, they've done rubbish, but you must encourage them to let them do better. Oh, I appreciate the fact that you were even able to take the initiative to do what? To wash the dishes today. You tried. And then you can go further to say next time you can just add this to this, do this one, do it that way, that way. The child will be happy. Or even before you start making corrections, you just say, can you clap for yourself for the work you have done today? And you make it a big deal. The child will be happy. So these are ways to connect with your children You also can show empathy and understanding to them, right? Because you can't just teach empathy, you have to show it. Because teaching children to understand others' feelings and the needs of others will help them to build compassionate relationships as they grow up. So if you are not compassionate with your child, everything they do, you give them bakan like we do in Nigeria or Africa. Everything they do that is not correct, you just do what? You just retaliate or you shout at them to the extent that the child starts shaking. That way, the child will not grow up being empathetic and they will not also understand. There was a time I was in the kitchen doing some stuff, and then my little girl too was there with me. This is a girl of 2 years plus. And then she picked a jug of water, filled with water, and then with a cup, attempting to pour water inside, and then everything poured on the floor. I didn't even see it at first until the other sibling, the older one, came and said, Dara, see water on the floor, see water on the floor. And the shout that both of us gave made her to be shocked, and then she started crying. I felt pity for her that, okay, it's not like this girl wanted to just pour water on the floor. I think she just wanted to try out something, but it turned out the other way. So when I saw that she was shocked, I pulled her closer and I told her, oh, sorry, you're not happy that we are shouting. Okay, we're sorry. And then she smiled after all. Now, number 3 thing you want to do in building or creating a culture of love and respect is to establish a culture of respect. Establish what? A culture of respect. Culture is the total way of life. If you don't intentionally teach the children to say, when you sleep and wake up, greet daddy and mommy, do this and do that, they will not do it. I mean, even when you have even told them and every day you are saying it, you have to keep saying it over and over again. You have to reinforce it for them over and over again. So you must establish the kind of culture you want to deploy when it comes to respect. What respect means in a Yoruba family might not be what respect means in an Igbo family or somewhere in the UK. But you see, every culture understands respect. The deployment might be different. And so what you just want to do is to tailor your own love, respect culture in the way that aligns with your family core values. So how do you do this? Lead by example. So if in your culture, how to greet an elderly is to, as a girl, for you to both kneel down on your both legs, on your both knees and greet, then deploy it. Show the child. Let the child see you doing it. If what it means is for you to shake, then do whatever it is, define it for them, reinforce it, lead them through it, and see them gradually doing it. Right? So parents who demonstrate respect in their speech while they are even speaking to the child and even in their action helps the child to receive the standard they have set for respect. So you want your child to be respectful. Can you respect them in how you speak to them? Don't say, it's not my child. I can do whatever I like to my child. Nobody tell me rubbish. No. There is the tone of respect. That's communication. There is the tone to love. You can't say you love your child and you are really yelling at your child. Because if you truly understand the negative impact of yelling on your child, you will truly be sorry for your act of yelling. It means something is actually still wrong with you. You don't say you love your child and all you do is to keep beating the child day by day without inculcating skills and trainings necessary for the growth of that child. That really is not love. Train up a child in the way he should go so that when he grows up, he won't depart from it. Your beat is to train, not to use every day be beating the child. How do you hold a child accountable for what you have not taught the child? That's crazy. So you must sit down and do what? Assess the system and lead by example to help you demonstrate respect in your speech and in your actions to your child. The next you want to do is to also create an effective communication system. In our house, we have a communication guide that shows us the kind of words we cannot see, no matter how angry we are. It shows how we must respect ourselves and relate to ourselves. Because if there is no standard, if it doesn't exist, then it does not exist. If it is not written, then it is not existing. So effective communication is not just anyhow we say anything anyhow. I mean, in some southwestern parts in Nigeria, as they are waking up and they are waking their child, they are waking the child practically with curses, right? It's like a culture, it's like a norm for them. And little wonder the child will grow up and they wonder how it is that the child is not prospering. Whereas they've used the 365 days every year for maybe like 11 years, 18 years of the life of that child to rain curses upon the life of the child. So tell me, how will the child become somebody tangible? So you must begin to retrain yourself as a parent to do what? To communicate effectively to your child and give a system that allows the children to talk in the home. Don't shut your children. Create a system that makes the children to do what? To talk, to explain what they have in mind, even whether it is right or it is not, correct or it is not. Let there be open discussions, bring issues and talk about it, relating it to your family values without any fear of judgment whatsoever. And in establishing culture of respect, one of the things you want to do is to create system of discipline with dignity. Discipline is not beating. Discipline with dignity is to create a system to train, to instruct, to correct your child's behavior with all fairness and guidance, rather than punishing your child, shaming the child, or making the child to be afraid. Every time you come, they see the lion of the tribe of your family coming and they are running away. They can't talk because you have made yourself the alpha of that home and even the omega. So you want to come down from your high horse, oh father, oh mother, so that your child can connect to you one on one. And you know what? God even came down to talk with man in the cool of the evening. He came down in the cool of the evening to talk with Adam every day. So why would you not create a system to talk with your child, to commune with your child day by day? After all, you are like your father. You should be like him. So create that system. So the next we want to talk about in creating a culture of love and respect in your home is for you to understand the role of culture and tradition. There are some cultures that are working for us. There are some culture that should go into extinct because it's not working and because it's not biblical if you're a Christian. You see, the African proverbs and storytelling emphasizes respect for elders and unity. It emphasizes respect for elders. It emphasizes unity as well and communal responsibilities. So as you bond with them, maybe daily or weekends, you want to give them fictional stories that can tailor down respect and love, and you model it to them. That's the role of culture and tradition. Let them know that for the culture you have come from, one of the things we do is to respect elders and is to do what? Show love. Now I'll run through what I've taken you to and I'll drop them here. The very first one I said, foundation of love and respect. And then number 2 is building love in the home. Because in the multitude of love, you will overlook many abnormalities. But where there is no love, you will not be able to condone any abnormalities and you will not also be able to be empathetic with yourself. Excuse me. So you want to be able to do this in your home. And then number 3 is to establish a culture of respect. Establish a culture of respect day in, day out. And this will help your child to be able to understand the teaching and the learnings relating to love and respect you want them to imbibe. All right. So also talking about this role of culture and tradition, you want to also make them see the impact of extended family structures for mentorship, for moral guidance, for support in parenting. Especially if you're a first-time mom. And if you know in Africa, even when you are married, your mother or your father, your in-laws, especially your father and mother, they are still interested in your marriage, trying to just help you out on some things that may be strange to you, really you don't understand, and all of those things. But in America or in UK, that might not be the case, because once you marry yourself, you're two grown up adults. But in Africa, even our parents want to be involved in our marriage, right? So even though there should be a boundary that you have set, so they don't pass that boundary. But the truth is, there are benefits that also we gain from relating with our extended family structures. So the ones that are safe for them, we want them to know them and put them through these structures. The ones that are not also safe for them, we want to make them also do what? Know them and know how to play around these things. Very important. That was one good thing King David did for his son Solomon. He told him how many people that fought him, how many people who made his rulership very tough, how many people helped him, and how he should deal with some people, and how he should promote some people, and how he should bless some people. That's parenting. Also, in talking about the role of culture and tradition, you want to also look at some traditional rites of passage that teach children's discipline, teach them responsibility, teach them respect for society values. You see it? Our tradition teaches that we should do what? African tradition teaches that we should do what? Respect people's societal values, and also teaches us responsibility. It also teaches children discipline. Only that Africans sometimes have gotten it wrong, to have mistaken discipline to beating a child, punishing a child, or shaming a child. But we can begin to right the wrong gradually. So number 5, which is the last one, is for you to then learn how to overcome challenges in modern parenting. Overcoming challenges in modern parenting. There are many challenges that our parenting attract. And number 1 here is the fact that we have social media as a form of big distraction to what? To our environment and to the raise up of our children. We also have technology taking the place of connectivity that should exist between the parent and the child. When you have not put a structure relating to screen time for your child, then the child will just pick up phones. You even have given them phone, and so they just pick phone and just use it anyhow. They just do things the way they don't understand. You are teaching them some things, they are not even listening because they feel they can get them. If you have teenagers feel they can always get all those things online. So whatever you are telling them is not sinking into their head because they feel they know more than you. After all, you are BBT, born before technology. But you can prove them wrong. That's why even in our age and time, you must know all these social medias, what they work for, how to use them, so that you are not totally out of the blues. You don't know how to handle these things, and you can guide them appropriately. Because if you don't know, you don't know, and you cannot give proper guidance. If you are giving a phone to your child, you should know that there are things the child should know. There are things you should have trained the child on that can help the child to navigate well in the internet space. There's cyber security, there's understanding cyber bully and all of those, so you can understand how to go about these things. And you don't just leave the children to themselves, because at the end of the day, what goes around will come back to you. So in overcoming these challenges, you must begin to then balance cultural values with modern influences, like I mentioned, just such as technology and social media. You know, because today many people are just on their phones 24/7 every day, including adults. They rarely have time to physically connect with people, and that has made them not to know how to relate with physical people. So they see you and they don't even know how to greet you. They see you, they don't know how to show you love. And you see that the relationships they go into don't last for too long because they have not learned how to relate with people one-on-one. So you want to begin to right the wrong and even incorporate basic cultural values even in the modern influences that we have, so that the social media will not become a disadvantage to your parenting, whereas you can use it as a tool to better your parenting. Another thing you want to know about this is to manage your work-life commitment to ensure parents to ensure that you remain emotionally available. You see, it's not easy to work, to combine it with the family and with parenting. But you must choose your hard, because parenting already is hard in itself. And this is why intentionality is one of the things that will help you keep pushing even when it is not convenient. You heard me say that we read to our children every day. Is it easy? No. Are there times we failed to do it? Yes. But are we making progress? Yes. When we fall, we rise again. When we fall, we rise again. But the truth is, we have seen it brought a drastic change and improvement even in the academic performance of our children just by reading to them every day. It started early. A baby of 1 year, even before she became one, started reading. When I say babies read, people say it's a lie, because there are different books of different category of your child. When you have a baby, you have a toddler, there are books that they can feel, not just by reading. There are sound books that sings to their ears. There are baby card devices that read some things into their ears and help them to make themselves conversant with book reading. You can also start by reading to their hearings, make it a consistent habit. When you do this all the time, it helps the child to be able to grow up easily, picking up books to read. Now, as we talk about managing these challenges in modern parenting, we want to address peer pressure and external influences that may contradict family values, right? There are peer pressures from children come from different families. Maybe you have successfully raised your child well, but there are people they will interface with in the school, in the church, in the neighborhood. And this is why you must understand your social roadmap. Understanding your social roadmap will make you take your journey intentionally upon the life of your child. When you have a child from 0 to 7 years, you know that's 7 to 8 years, you know that's the time you have influence, direct mentoring on your child. From the age of 8 years to teenage year, the child really does not want to listen to you. Your role becomes an advisory role, because whatever you tell the child wants to go and ask from a friend or from a third party to be sure whether he or she will make that decision. But if you have intentionally crafted out a social roadmap, to have given the child a mentor at that age, or a safe hand, or your parenting partner, somebody who can parent as much as you, because based on the values and systems you have put in place. So you have a friend or a parent partner, maybe a school partner, or your children's school, whoever that is your parent partner that can do your parenting as much as you do, then that person can fill up the role of directly mentoring the child. And you can go into professional mentoring for the child. That when you do professional mentoring, it helps the child to be able to do what? Pick up the values that you are teaching the child, even though the child is still going to vet it with what you are going to say. But at the end of the day, it's not going to contradict what you have been telling the child. So eventually the child will pick up what you have taught the child. That way you are safe. But if you have let them blank and like you just threw them into the ocean, the children will be confused and they will not know what to do. So we have said 5 major things today in building or creating a culture of love and respect in the home, especially in Africa. It's very important for you to know that if you must have a home that thrives on love and respect, you as the parent must create the foundation for it by being responsible, by becoming an emotionally intelligent parent, by also learning to show respect to everyone that you come in contact with, because these children are watching. They see how you relate with somebody, they see how you talk to somebody, they see how you were angry at somebody, they saw how you also yelled at them. These things are important things we must imbibe so that we can be able to do what? Pass this message to the children. So if you forget anything, don't forget that you are a model to your child. And whatever you model to your child is what they will mirror back to you. So what are you modeling to your child? Let me drop it here for you. You are a model to your child. And whatever you model, they will mirror back to you. Right? I believe you've gotten value today. If today happens to be your first time watching this, maybe you are even catching up a replay, we like to hear from you. Drop into the comment section. Let's hear from you. How did you see the session? What do you want us to do better? What topic would you like us to talk about? Would you like to share this with your friends? And if this resonates well with you, subscribe on this channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so that when we drop any video, you can be duly informed and you can follow suit. Thank you for coming here today to join me. And I want to say thank you. It's a good evening and have a lovely week ahead. Bye for now.